Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video here in the Southern Hebrides. We're still on the little Isle of Isla and we're still staying in Fairy Hill Cottage, which is here. And this here is Fairy Hill up beside me. It's a bit overgrown for climbing at the top of. But yeah, this is an evening little explore and I'm just out for a solo walk. I'm just about to see if I can see any cool wildlife or anything out of the ordinary. And I'm always so excited to like explore a new area. And that's what we've been doing this whole holiday. But literally Fairy Hill Cottage is just a short walk for the coast. So I'm going to head down here at the coast and see what I can see. And from what I've seen so far, it looks like there's actually maybe like an old ruined building down here. On the old map it says Kennels. So I'm thinking it was maybe related to like a big house here at one time. I'm not sure yet, but we might go and have a look at that. I'll see. So I've come down the wood from Fairy Hill Cottage, which is just up that path, and then this is the wee gate that I'm waiting to go through, and I'm wanting to explore some of this coast. But first, we'll take a walk along this little path here, because I think this is where the ancient ruin is. And we do love some abandoned history on this channel, folks. It's cool just to imagine like the community and what went on back in the days when like all these old island buildings were in their prime. I think roughly around about the mid 1800s is when the Isle of Islay had its largest population, and then sadly like over the years it's kind of dwindled and just dropped off like as people moved to the mainland, and the population's just gone down and down. In the evenings this bay here is just so calm. It's a perfect place for a walk. Look at this, folks. The character of a place like this is so cool. It's like another bit of abandoned history from a time gone by. I just love coming and seeing new places like this and trying to uncover all the little parts of the historical puzzle. It looks like somebody's had a wee fire here at one time. See, it's marked as kennels on the old maps. So I'm not sure if there was somebody maybe looked after dogs or something for the estate. Look at that, shows you how long it's been abandoned by like the size of the tree which is growing out the front of it. We'll take a walk around the outside of it and then we'll go in and have a wee look and see what it's offering in the way of abandoned history, folks. Look at this, it's like, it blows my mind coming to a place like this often. There's just always so much history to be uncovered. I'm guessing that this section here might have been where there was some sort of kennels, maybe for the dogs. And yeah, there has been a good few rooms, maybe shed rooms or something. Yeah, look at this bit, it's kind of fenced off like a little garden. Wow. Oh, look, there's wee doors and stuff everywhere. So it looks like it's been a two-storey house with maybe like living quarters at the bottom and then bedrooms up at the top. It looks like this is a right wee hole down here where all the water seems to run down. Yeah, look at this wee room. Whoa! I got such a fright. That little bird is actually nesting up there in that hole. So I'll not disturb it. What a shame. We'll come here with respect for not only the property but the nature that's within it. Look, this maybe remains of a bit of like a skylight on the window. Kind of window on the roof. There's just tiny bits of the roof remaining sticking out up there. And then look at this, there's been something in the corner here. This could have maybe been like a wash house or something here with like a boiler. Some old houses had stuff like that. Oh aye, so this must have been the back of the house. It must have been commonly accessed from the other side. And it's quite a big property. properties like this just went to the wayside as people moved away from these wee islands and the communities just got smaller and smaller. Look at this here, this is something. There's actually a square here cut out in the stone, and this is maybe where, I'm not sure, it could have been where the shite house was, because back then the toilets were like outside. Let's go inside and have a look and just imagine how it looked in its prime. I'm guessing this must have been like the main door here with this big lintel, and then this wee window. Probably the trees which grow around it now were a lot smaller. And then I'm guessing this must have been the main room. And look, there's where the beams had gone into the wall. And then upstairs fireplace. Sometimes the reason these walls stand so long is because the strength from the fire going up, the chimney going up gives it strength. So often the walls with the chimneys in them are the last ones standing on properties like this. And look, it's up the chimney, folks. I don't know how well that comes out because it's pretty dark. Another cool thing, like this front window has been massive. You can imagine just standing here with your whiskey, just looking out over the sea before these tree branches were here. This is a big, big window. And it looks to me like maybe it has been a wooden lintel here that's rotted away. Or else maybe it's been a fine handy lintel for them using on like another property. Because sometimes with old sites like this, bricks and parts of them were reused for newer properties. It's so interesting. Coming to a place like this, I always say it's just like you're transported back in time. See, this window looks like it's been one size at one time, and then I don't know if it's gotten broken, but they've changed the size of the window and they've added this bricks in here. So it shows, even though it's like an abandoned property, there's layers of history. Even when it was still lived in, it's been tweaked and changed over the years to suit. See, this just looks ancient the way it's built. Wow, look at the ivy coming down here. This could have been also obviously like living quarters. In the other room there must have been a stair going up. It's hard to even tell where that sort of thing was because so many years have passed. But look, you can still see there's been some sort of like rendering here on the wall. It just kind of remains on there. It's been almost like a cement render of some sort. And when they built buildings like this, they just used stones which they would have found lying about, probably down on the beach. And then also in here you can see where the wood has been in for the beams, holding the next story up. And then I can see there's no chimney here, so the room at the other side of here must have a chimney. Yeah, that is interesting. This room here doesn't have any fires in it. But look, it does have an upstairs window facing out the back. Yeah, it is interesting, folks. And I love seeing like old windows and look at that. Imagine how many years have passed since that tree has started growing. I believe like this has been a ruin for many, many years. And the more years that pass, the more it degrades and ends up just being a pile of rubble. Oh yeah, look at this wee room here. This is cool. It's like this downstairs section has been half the width, but then once you were up the stair, it's gone right over to that far wall. So it's had a big upstairs on it. That top window there is just hanging on. There's a tree growing up there, which has probably pushed it apart and broken it, but now it looks like the roots is holding that bit up. And I think maybe these have been wooden lintels, because every single one is away. I think they've had stone outer lintels and then wooden inner ones. Now look at this interesting point on the bottom of the thing here. It's got the bits, and I'm not sure if there would have been wood in there with glass between, Or it might have been so far back in time. That was the original bars on the window. And then maybe this was later windows that was fitted into this frame. And that maybe makes sense why the other one was made narrower. Maybe they couldn't get a pane of glass like the size for the original window down there. So I've just come back inside to take a couple of pictures here, and I've just noticed some more little details of the history as I was standing here. Like this wooden lintel's still in, so that shows you what would have originally been above all the other doors here. And look, it's just on its last legs, unfortunately. But you can see the stone lintel on the outside with the woodening on the inside. That's how all these ones are gone. And then another cool thing that I've noticed, look on the floor here. This is like the cement plaster kind of stuff that's been all over the wall. It's all fallen off. It's like almost like a cement plaster render. And look at it, folks, there's the last remaining bit of it. It was maybe whitewashed or whatever originally for light in the building, so it was a bit lighter, because this would have been well before the days of like electricity. It would have been candlelight, away to bed when the sun sets. But when I was taking my photos, I thought this is the best angle of this place from here. Look at it, look at the character of that. It's like a nugget of time. It's like one day everybody just moved away and moved out, and from that day to now it's just been degrading and nature just takes over. There's even like ferns, ivies and trees just all growing out there of the roof. What a place though. It was definitely worth coming down here for a look. Buildings like this is just right up my street, folks. Unearthing layers of history for years gone by. I think now maybe like the sheep and stuff sheltering there at night, probably from the harsh winds out here on the coast. Look, there's something there as well. I don't know what that's been. Oh, it's just an old plastic bucket. If it had been a metal bucket, it might have been from the era of this house. But yeah, there you go, folks. I'm just about to go now for a little coastal walk and see if I find anything else that's cool. I'm not sure where I'm going to go. I was going to do it as one video, just this house and then my walk, but it's been pretty cool just to see this in this video. And look, I can actually see one of the chimney cans is still up there. That's incredible. Like, maybe when this tree continues to grow, that'll be the end of that front wall. That's how it's so cool to come and video it before it falls down altogether. And maybe next time I come here, it could be 10, 20 years from now, and places like this will look so different. That's how it's cool to capture it on the camera, and that way it stays forever, as it was today on the video. Anyway, folks, that's been cool. That's been another little video. If you want to see where I'm going to go now, tune in. Tune in to the next video, because literally that's the end of this one, and it'll not be long before I upload the next one. It's like Isla adventure after Isla adventure just now. And just look at this beach. Wow. I have to be careful, because I've said it already in this video, but there's like seals. The seals just love the coast around here. It looks to me like the tide might be coming in. Look at these waves. Anyway, folks, I'll end this one here. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you in the next video very soon.